Hi, welcome to Netbook Cloud Technologies. So I'm Gurdeep Singh. So I'm your instructor. So today we are going to learn storage management part 1. So here we are going to discuss storage concepts. Agenda is the storage in virtual compute. What is data store? Storage technologies, types of storage, local and network, FC storage, FCOE storage, NAS storage, iSCSI storage. So let's start. So first of all, let's discuss storage in virtual compute. So, what is the role of storage in the virtual compute? So, this is your SXI host, and to access the shared storage. So, it is a storage array that we are going to access, and in the SXI host, we just need to add storage adapter. So, this is a storage adapter in the SXI host. So, this storage adapter it is going to work as an initiator, and in the storage array, there is a adapter which we call target, and this initiator it is going to communicate with the target. And when the communication is there, so your storage array it presents the learn, that is the logical unit number, and this is the logical unit number, and from this logical unit number means learn, we are just going to create data store with the file system like vmfs. And now we have created a virtual machine on this ESXi host, and this virtual machine is going to keep its VMDK, means the files of the virtual machines onto this VMFS data store. So this is how the components they are working in the storage. So what the components we have to learn? It's like the storage array type FC, FCOE, iSCSI, NAS. So this storage array it can be like your FC, FCOE, iSCSI, and AS. And there are two more terms like initiators and targets. Initiator it is with the SXI host, and target is the storage array. And the storage adapter like FC, HBA, FCOE, HBA, and HBA stands for the host bus adapter. And for the iSCSI, the adapter should be like iSCSI HBA. And for the NAS, we are going to use the Ethernet adapter. So now what is the data store? So data store is used for storing virtual machines and their files and their data, ISO images, VM templates, and floppy images. So we can say data store is a logical container. So like file system, it hides specifics of each storage device. Means like your file system like FAT32, FAT16, and TFS. So it just hides the type of disk. So in the same manner, your data store it's a logical container and it hides what kind of storage we have at the at in the backend. So it hides that kind of specifics and presents us with a logical container. So data store can be created on the different types of physical storage like locally attached storage, your fiber channel storage, and FCOE storage, and ISP storage, and network attached storage means NAS. So these are the storage technologies, and from these technologies we are just going to create a data store. So like technologies are LAS, so it is a local storage. So LAS means locally attached storage, or we can also call it like direct attached storage. And fiber channel, so it's a kind of your network storage. FCOE, again it's the fiber channel over Ethernet. iSCSI storage, and then NAS means network attached storage. So let's study one by one. So first of all, storage, local storage. So your local storage, so this is your SXI box, and what the disks are present in the SXI host, which are connected by the SCSI or SCS or SATA compatible HB or your cable. So that is called the local storage. And this kind of storage it is present in the SXI host, and on this storage we are just going to create the VMDK. And on the VMDK, and sorry, On the VMFS, we are just going to put the VMDK. So from the SCSI device, we are just going to create your data store, which is VMFS type, and on this virtual machine file system type your data store, we are just going to put the VMDK for this VM. And next year, so there is a concept of vSAN also. So vSAN, it can be implemented on local storage device when the hosts are in cluster. So whenever there are more than one host, then we can cluster all these hosts and we can get their local data storage, and we can create vSAN. And for details, we can see that so one documentation is there. So it is the administrating VMware vSAN. So we can consult this kind of document to know more about the vSAN. So next is your network storage. So under network storage, we have got four technologies like fiber channel, FCOE, and iSCSI storage, and NAS. So let's study one by one. So first of all, let's discuss the network storage. So what is network storage? So it is external storage which is present outside the ESXi host box, right? And there we can store VM files remotely. So ESXi host access storage over a high-speed storage network, and network storage, it is a shared storage. So at one moment or simultaneously more than one ESXi host, they can access the storage. So multipathing is possible, means to access a particular your data store or a particular not data store, shared storage. So we can communicate, we can make the communication between ESXi host and to that storage onto the multiple paths. So concurrent access by different hosts. So here the multiple hosts, they can access the same shared storage concurrently. So there is one note from the VM where the same LAN cannot be presented to an ESXi host or multiple hosts through a different storage protocol. Now, for example, we have storage type like FC, FCOE, and iSCSI and NAS. So, for example, your LAN 0 is there. So the same LAN, it cannot be presented to an ESXi host using the two technologies. Like we are also using the FC adapter and we are also using the your iSCSI adapter. So the same adapter, it cannot get that kind of LAN. So to access the LAN, so we should always follow a single protocol, like your either fiber channel or iSCSI only. So let's discuss the FC storage, means fiber channel storage. So now FC storage uses the fiber channel protocol to transport SCSI traffic. So basically the traffic, it is the SCSI kind. So from this ESXi box to the storage, so our SCSI traffic, it will travel from this ESXi host to the storage. So to make that communication possible, so on the ESXi host, fiber channel HB adapter is there, means host bus adapter is there, and this host bus adapter, it communicates to the storage network, to the your fiber channel array. So from the fiber channel array, we are creating the VMFS data store, and onto this VMFS data store, we are just putting the VMDK for this VM. So in this way, the FC storage works. Now next discuss the FCOE, fiber channel over Ethernet storage. So well, for this kind of storage, your fiber channel HB adapter is there. Now what happens in this kind of storage? So what the Ethernet packets, so what the your fiber channel packages are there. So these kind of packages or packets, they are just encapsulated onto the Ethernet frames and travel through the SAN. The FCO adapter is required on the ESXi host and host next to the fiber channel array through the Ethernet network. And further, the fiber channel array, it is so from this fiber channel array which is presented to us, so from there we create the virtual machine file system type data store, and onto that data store we are just putting this kind of virtual machine, it puts its VMDK. Now third is iSCSI storage. Now in the iSCSI storage, so the SCSI communication, it is just going through the internet SCSI protocol. So on the ESXi host, we need two kinds of either we need two kinds of HBA host bus adapter. So it can be like your physical iSCSI adapter, or it can be like your software type software adapter. So in the software adapter, our Ethernet NIC, it can work very fine, and both the adapters, they can communicate over the local area network or the standard TCP/IP network to access the iSCSI array. So when this SXI box accesses the iSCSI array, so from this iSCSI array, virtual machine file system volume is your data store is created, and onto this data store, the virtual machines, they keep their VMDKs, means virtual machine kernel files. So in this way, the iSCSI array, it can be accessed by the SXI host. So remember, to access the iSCSI array, we need the HB adapter, and the HB adapter, they can be either physical or they can be software adapter. So iSCSI physical adapter should be there, or your software adapter using the Ethernet NIC should be there. So talking about the hardware iSCSI, so host connects to the storage through a third-party adapter. Hardware adapter can be dependent and independent. So further, we will discuss the dependent and independent in the next few slides. So let's talk about the SCSI, or software SCSI. So software iSCSI adapter is SXI host use the software-based iSCSI initiator in the VM kernel to connect to the storage. So standard NIC is there, which can be used as the software iSCSI. So iSCSI initiator must be configured for the host to access the display uh, to access and display iSCSI storage devices. Now talking about the iSCSI initiator. Now to access the iSCSI targets. So targets, they are present on the storage, and initiator, they are present on the SXI host. So what the HB adapters are there, they can work as the iSCSI initiators, and adapters which are present on the storage side, they act as the iSCSI targets. So your iSCSI initiator, they can have the same function as the physical HBA, like in FC, FCOE, SCSI, SAS, NAS, like that. So targets, they are present on the storage array. So iSCSI target, they host the iSCSI LUNs. So LUNs, so basically your storage, it provides LUNs, and from the LUNs we are just going to create the data store, which can be either of your VMFS type or your NFS type, means your NFS protocol type. So from that, we are just going to put the VMDKs onto these data stores. So what is the iSCSI node? The main addressable discoverable entity. It can be either initiator or a target. So this is the logical diagram of the storage. So there is a disk array, means is the storage system, and these are the physical disk. And from the physical disk, we are going to create the LUNs, and these LUNs, they are presented to the storage processor, which acts like the iSCSI targets. So from this, so from your physical volumes, we are just going to create the volume groups, and volume groups, they are from the volume groups, we are going to create the volumes, which are called the LUNs, like LUN 0, LUN 1, and LUN 2. And these LUNs, they are just presented to the storage processors. And these storage processors, they act like the iSCSI target. And using the standard IP network, so our hosts, they are going to access this kind of storage. So on our SXI host, there should be adapters like HB adapters, and these HB adapters, they can be of like either your hardware adapter or your software iSCSI adapters. So hardware adapter, they can be from the third party vendor. And well, if I talk about the iSCSI target, so your volumes, or means your LUNs, they are mapped to the IQ number. So IQ number, it stands for your iSCSI qualified naming. So we will discuss IQ number in the upcoming slides. And it's the software HBA, means VMHBA. So here our Ethernet network, your NIC, it will work fine. So this is the logical unit number, and your logical unit number, it is mapped to the iSCSI target name like IQN or EUI. And on the initiator, on the host side, we have got the initiator, and again the initiator, it is represented by iSCSI initiator name, means IQN or EUI. Now further storage terms are there, like iSCSI naming. So iSCSI naming, it should be like your IQN or and EUI. So what is IQN? Let's study this. So IQN, it is a 255 character long name, So its full form is iSCSI qualified name or naming. The prefix is IQN, and the prefix it is followed by the your year of the year and your day. Sorry, your date. So basically, it's a kind of date without the day, and dot naming authority and unique name. So unique name it can be like the host name also. So from the prefix IQN we can identify the IQN naming. And EUI, so EUI stands for the extended unique identifier. So basically it's the 16 hexadecimal long your naming scheme. So it is prefixed by the EUI. The prefix EUI followed by the 16 character long name. The name includes 24 bit of the company name that is assigned by the IEEE and 40 bits for the unique ID. And if we add 24 and 40, so we will get the 64 bits. So 64 divided by your 16. So section 4 is the 64. So it's a 16 hexadecimal digit long naming scheme. Some more names are there like iSCSI ID, canonical name. In the canonical name we have T10, NAA, and some runtime names also like VMHB 3400 like that. So storage devices they are identified in several ways like the SCSI ID. So it's a unique SCSI identifier is there, and some canonical names are there like NAA ID. So basically it's the Network Address Authority ID, and NPX it's a VMware namespace, not persistent across reboots, starts with the NPX prefix and T10 identifier. So it is assigned by the IETF, means Internet Engineering Task Force, and T10 ID starts with the T10 prefix. And some your runtime names are there like VMHB 34. So uses the convention VMHB NCTL. This name is not persistent through reboots. And HB stands for, as you know, it's the host bus adapter. Now let's study the working of iSCSI storage. So these are my SXA boxes, and over there I have created some virtual machines, and it's a shared storage. And from the shared storage, I have created the data store, and onto this data store we are just putting our VMDK or virtual machine files. So now how the communication is going to happen? So for the communication to happen, so on the SXA boxes I have got the iSCSI initiator, which is my HB adapters, and which are created in the VM kernels. And VM kernel, and basically what we do, so we simply create a VM kernel port, and then we map this VM kernel port to the iSCSI initiator, and your iSCSI initiator it sends the command to the iSCSI target. So it's like the requests and response, and in the response iSCSI target it sends the LANs, IQN, IP, and your IP addresses. So as a response to your iSCSI target, it provides the IQN name, and from the IQN we obtain the LANs, or from the IP address we can obtain the IQN, and from the IQN we can obtain the LANs. And using those LANs we are just going to create the data stores. So this is how the iSCSI storage, the communication happens between the SXA boxes and the iSCSI storage. So now how to configure the software iSCSI initiator. So you can note down these few steps, or logical steps are these. So on the SXA host, what we have to do. So first of all, configure a VM kernel port for accessing IP storage. So enable the iSCSI software adapter VMHPA. Then configure the iSCSI qualified name, means icon number and alias if required. And configure iSCSI software adapter properties such as static, dynamic, discovery addresses. So how to access or how to discover the targets. So there are two methods, static and dynamic. We will discuss these methodology in the upcoming slides. And now configure iSCSI security. It can be like challenge, handshake, authentication means chat. Now talking about the NAS storage. So it is the fourth kind of your network storage. So NAS it stands for the network attached storage. So what happens in the NAS? So this is my SXA box, and using the ordinary gigabit Ethernet NIC, and using that standard TCP/IP network, we are just going to access the NAS appliance. and Nash appliance. From this Nash appliance, we are just going to create the data store, and this data store, it is not the VMFS type, but it is the NFS type, means network file storage type. And onto this NFS data store, this virtual machine, it can keep its VMDK or its file, or other files or other data files. And the NFS client built into SXI uses NFS protocol version 3 and 4.1 to communicate with the NAS/NFS servers. So this is how the communication happens between the SXI box and the NAS appliance. Now, how VMs access storage? So this is quite interesting. Now, virtual machines, how they communicate. So let's study. So how a virtual machine accesses the storage. So this is a logical diagram. So here we are with the SXI host, and there are different kinds of methods to access the network storage. So first of all, it is the local storage, so which is present inside the SXA box, and this local storage. So onto this local storage, we can create the VMFS SCSI device or VMS data store, and onto this data store, your VM, it can place its VMDK. Now so let's talk more about this diagram. So in the left hand side, here, so in the left hand side, storage is present inside the SXA box. Fine. So means it's a local SCSI storage. Now virtual machine data stores are catered onto this, and VMDK has been catered on this. So your virtual machine, it creates its VMDK over here. Now in the next diagram, like here, fiber channel arrays external storage. Now this is the fiber channel array, which is the external storage, and fiber channel HB adapters are present inside the SXA box. So these HB adapters, through the SAN, they can communicate with the FC array, and onto this FC array, we are going to create the virtual machine file system type data store, and onto this VMFS data store, we can keep the VMDK. So same with the other store also, like in this now there are some technology that require the TCP/IP connectivity, like your iSCSI array and NAS. So these kinds of technologies, they need the standard TCP/IP network, which we call the local area network, like this. So basically, these are the standard TCP/IP network. So here we can have the iSCSI, your hardware-based iSCSI HV adapters, or here we can also use the software iSCSI adapters using the Ethernet NIC. Or for the NAS, so our simple gigabit, normal gigabit adapter, it can work like to communicate with the LAN and further to the NAS appliance. So this is how the virtual machine access storage. And whenever the virtual machine, it is going to communicate with its VMDK, so simply it sends the SCSI commands. So these SCSI commands, they travel through the fiber channel HBA or your iSCSI HBA or your Ethernet NICs uh, through the your storage network, like this SAN, or it can be like the standard TCP/IP network. And these SCSI commands, they are further passed on to the iSCSI array or NAS appliance or your fiber channel array, and further to the particular data stores. Now next is storage adapters. So let us study what are the storage adapters. Now storage adapters, these provide the connectivity from a SXA host to the storage unit or network. So what kind of storage adapters are there? It's like the SCSI, iSCSI, RAID, fiber channel over Ethernet, means FCOE, and Ethernet. So SXA boxes, they access the adapter directly through the device drivers in the VM kernel. So thank you for watching this lecture, and in the next lecture we will study shared data store file system, means how to create your VMFS data store and how to create your NFS data store. So thank you for watching this lecture.